Before I proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you, so you could just scroll down and take a look in the descriptions. You'll see I've chaptered everything. And something right there might have caught your eye with the new batch of Ruskins, and you're probably just craving, yearning to see them right now. You want to see a lovely showcase of them. Well, by all means, look in the description, scroll down, all the chapters are listed there. You're more than welcome to skip ahead. I provided that to you. And let me tell you, some of the choices today, pretty interesting. Never would I have guessed the Angel Miner's Hat would be accepted. But it happened. It happened. We have a fun showcase for that, oh, don't you worry. So by all means, if you want to skip ahead to that, you're more than welcome to. We also saw the return of Thundergold. All Seeing Eyes also returned. No boots this week. That's probably a trend that's now finished, so okay. Small diving box, nice and ready for the naval update in just a few weeks' time. Ooh, November Force Wipe. And not surprising at all, 2 beds are also accepted. I put out as much as I could to warn you about the cargo heli bed and the tropical bed with their sales and whatnot. There you go. What are you expecting next week? Yes, even more. What are you expecting for Halloween? Yes, even more. There will be more beds. There will be more miners' hats. But that right there. Sinotype metal frags. We now don't have a Sinotype skin in a workshop to anticipate next. So, skin creator for that. It did focus doing a Halloween skin this past weekend, but I am pretty sure we will be seeing another Sinotype skin this weekend, along with another small props box. We shall see, and don't worry, we'll be discussing that in a bit. Black Ops LR300 and the Deep Sea Rocket Launcher are our late picks for this week. Now, it was only like a month or so ago, but yeah, still seeing some extra late picks happening, but not as far back. So maybe we're only going to start seeing early picks, regular, typical picks, and the occasional late pick now. Whereas over the course of the summer, we've seen some pretty crazy sort of picks from years ago. All right, cool. So overall, feel free to comment below. Out of all these skins, which one's your favourite? Which skins did you buy immediately? Let's now quickly find out of all these skins, which ones are abnormal. And it's actually going to be super easy to point this out because the only skin this week that is not abnormal is the Deep Sea Rocket Launcher. The only one. We have 10 skins, and oh my, 9 of them are abnormal. Well, that certainly is pretty interesting, isn't it? But yeah, I'm not joking. 9 abnormal skins to chase after next week, and there's some pretty interesting designs. So, okay, cool, fair enough. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with the plushies, they're going to be in every single Rust store until, November. So for the next 3 Rust stores, they will still be around, even for Halloween, I guess. It'd be nice if we got a pumpkin one or something, but whatever. So, okay, cool. So, Rust store rotated a little bit late. We're almost up to about 3 hours since the Rust store rotated. Let's just get a quick little insight. Almost 3 hours, and the Sinotype Metal Frags has 4,700 subscribers, and it's kind of been chased after with the neon bed here. I might be a little bit annoyed by that neon bed. A brand new neon collection skin has been accepted, but it doesn't say bed on it. How am I supposed to know it's a bed? Unbelievable. But then, of course, No Mercy bed. Not selling as much, but that one glows. That one's super noticeable. This, perfectly fine looking design. Number 40 for the No Mercy collection. And yes, that is large. But yeah, not selling as much. But what is selling quite a lot is the Angelic Halo. I am incredibly surprised that was even accepted. But hey, face punch decides. But when you see this in game, when I showcase this to you, you're going to laugh. And if we now have a Halo, perhaps this weekend, we might potentially see a pair of wings. Oh, we might be able to dress up as an angel this Halloween. Oh, we'll see, we'll see. Thundergold listed there at $3. It's basically smack dab in the middle. I don't think that's going to sell excessively, but I do believe people will be interested. Because now that we got the backpack, and remember this, we didn't see a Thundergold skin being submitted for about half a year. And the second they do, boom, acceptance. Will we see another attempt for hoodie and pants? Because I think we kind of want that, don't we? I think we kind of want that. So we'll see. We'll see. So, all right, looking pretty optimistic there. Small diving box, 5 skins in a row now for the small props collection. If this is them at their worst, and let me remind you, we're still in early October. Right now should be the absolute worst time for skins in terms of prices and whatnot. Let's go have a little segue. So, of course, when you look at the summer, and then when you look at the current past 2 months or so, not as good compared to the summer. But it's not surprising Lots of kids went back to school and education and college. You get the idea. Right now, there's a lot more people trying to sell skins rather than buy. There's been a drop in terms of like people playing. That's fine. It's happened many times in the past. If you always look at like the previous summers and then look at what happens during, September, October, November, typically there is a very noticeable drop off. Last year was quite the anomaly though. When we saw the big world update in October 2024, lots of people turned up, stuck around. Momentum was very strong as we went through December, and then we had the all-time high peak player count. We have the naval update next month. November Force Wipe, naval update, boat bases, loads of new content. You know for a fact a lot of people will be turning up for that. And I really do believe that will kickstart the momentum for the end of this year, rolling up to January 1st, 2026, because that's when the Force Wipe is. We'll see if Face Punch will commit to January 1st, we'll see, but you poor Americans, South Americans, North Americans, don't drink too much. So anyway, cool, understood. Things have dropped off, prices have dropped off, but everything is expected to recover as we get closer and closer to Christmas time and post-Christmas time, okay? I put the warnings out there. If anything, with all the funds that you potentially might have right now, go look for some nice investments. Now, if I could just quickly also mention this as well. Last week, October Force Wipe, we had the interesting meta shift, and a lot of people could not get even a tier 2 workbench, sorry. You know what I'm trying to say. So what happened was, revolvers started being appreciated so much more, and you are now looking at the Heatseeker revolver at its highest ever price, $6.50. Yes, it's happened. I must have mentioned this already at some point, like over the past 7 days, but I can confirm it just keeps on climbing. People are now really, really appreciating revolver skins. I told you a minute ago, maybe I might want to go ahead and look for some investments. Maybe the revolvers might be a pretty interesting thing. Skin creators, you might want to consider a revolver. Here's my Thundergold revolver micro. Anyway, so things are looking pretty interesting, but you should expect all these prices to recover quite nicely. I just noticed Temple, chestplate here. Yet we still haven't seen tier 2. Is it the end of the world for this? No. It's still one of the cheapest and good green pieces of armor we've ever seen. All right. So if you're worried about that, honestly, no. Long term, this will be appreciated in some nice budget green options. All right. It's unfortunate we didn't see a collection continuation, but hey, we can't rule out anything just yet. But still, if we only end up with the Temple tier 3, that's fine. It's still going to be appreciated. Go grab yourself a nice pair of Flashbacks hoodie and pants, a Reptile Hunter kilt, spend about $20 on a green, camouflage set. Still very effective. Very effective. We did the comparisons. I'm sure you understand. And if you want to spend a little bit more, grab yourself some Wasteland Hunter hoodie and pants and boots and that. Hey, still considerably cheaper compared to Forest Raiders. So I wouldn't worry too much. So okay, cool. Had that little moment there. Keep an eye on these prices and keep an eye on your inventories. And if you own Christmas skins, next month, getting ready. Now, Halloween is getting closer, but honestly, Halloween skins don't really tend to go up that much, right? Now, we're segueing away over to here as well. All the Halloween skins have been submitted. There is 324 of them. I will link the collection in the description. By all means, comment below. What Halloween skins would you like to see being accepted? Because there is a lot of clothing and armor. There is a lot of deplorables. And there is quite a decent amount of weapons and tools. We're quite lacking in terms of weapons and tools. So I'm about halfway now. Now we're entering the deplorables. Scroll. Let's just go all the way down up to here. Only now do we start seeing weapons and tools. And we've got 15% left. Nah, done. Still a nice batch of options. If we were to have seen 3 weeks of Halloween, there's definitely more than enough. But it's expected it's only going to be 2 weeks of Halloween this year, right? So how many Halloween Rust skins are we going to see in each Rust store? I will not be surprised in the slightest if we end up seeing 15 skins minimum for each Rust store. And yes, tons of minus hats in here, tons of bed skins in here. So, okay, cool. Understood. So, let's now quickly hop back over to here. Quick refresh just to be up to date. I'm on SCMM to APP right now. Everything here is still looking pretty sweet. Perhaps we will see another small props box at some point in the future, aka this weekend. We're not sure what Mr. McGwamp's going to do next, but I'm pretty confident he will be doing another skin. If you have ideas, prepare them. You can comment below. Chat, I'll ask you in a bit, don't you worry, when we start talking about that. But shall we go through all the skins now? Shall we discuss whether these skins might potentially be nice investments, especially after we looked at them? Sinotype Metal Frags. Kind of surprised to see it selling quite a lot. And here's another thing to consider. If this is likely going to do a similar amount of sales compared to all the previous Sinotype skins, these beds are probably going to be most likely going to sell less than 40,000 at the very least. AKA, oh my cargo heli, oh no, you're already going down in price, oh no. Is that surprising? No, I warned you. So, that's a pretty interesting outlook for the beds. But as we see more and more beds, you will start to see those bed skins dropping off in terms of total sales. But you, Sinotype Metal Frags, how important are you? If we could just quickly look at all the Sinotype skins now, we have 13 in total. And well, we've caught up in terms of, you know how we had like 1 week where we didn't have a skin and then you submitted one. This past weekend, the skin creator did make a Halloween skin. That's fine. But how much longer will this last? This weekend, I'm expecting another one. Then we have the Halloween restores. Okay. Will this continue into November? Will this finish in November? At the very least, I am expecting 14 skins. What would you want to see being made next? Comment below. We now have metal frags, charcoal, explosives, sulfur, armor, scrap. We have clothes, tools, ore, components, meds, ammo, and of course firearms. Is there some sort of niche large box you'd like to see? But then again, you know, small diving box, diesel box. We've already seen some niches, cards box, of course. Or perhaps there's still something that's like super required. I don't think we need to see a Sinotype food box, but I would like to see the skin creator make a food fridge. That'd be cool. But anyway, wood, stone, what else? Car parts, boat parts, naval sort of theme skin. Ooh, comment below. But based on how all the other skins have been performing, honestly, looking at the prices right now, I can't help but assume these skins have probably suffered already. As in, they've already gone past the worst of it. As in, I can't help but assume later in September time was when they were at their worst. And I think we're already past the worst of it. But here's another thing that we had to kind of get in your heads. You might be a little bit too optimistic with how far these skins might go. Let's go remind you about Graffiti Collection. All of these skins sold for $2.49 as well. But how high have they actually gone? $4, $7, $5, $3.50, $4.25, $2.50. Wow, you barely changed. $4, and then we have $3.25. Do you understand? Not all of these like stonked in price and everything. In fact, only a few of them have got like kind of tripled in price. Component $8. You have the wood box here, $7.29. Like the majority of these, if you're to say what's the average price of all of them, it's got to be between $3 to $4. They all sold for $2.49 each. Does that sound appealing? But then again, it's October. How will they look as we enter January time? We'll see. But if you were to look at the previous prices we saw back in the summer, they would have been higher, for sure. But how much profit was there actually gained from all of that? Hey, you can answer. I'm sure some of you sold yours. The point I'm trying to get across is don't assume all of these Sinotype skins are going to go over $10. At best, most likely, they're probably at best only double in price. So when you look at this metal frags, hey, it's nice to see another skin being accepted. The more the merrier. Still not sure how far it's going to go, but it's still looking like it's going to be a reliable, perfectly fine option. These past several weeks, or rather, well, 13 weeks now, yep, 12, we have basically done $1.70 to $2.20 with the buy orders, the abnormal buy orders, and it's been okay. I'm sure some people here offered some different prices and whatnot, but if you offered at least $2, chances are you have definitely picked up some Sinotype skins. I have, with my buy orders. Of course, I did buy some as well, but buy orders as well. So, the purchases from the store, I meant what I say. Anyway, Sinotype Metal Frags, let's go in game, get a good look at you, and we'll question, well, do we like it or not? So one thing I kind of neglected to point out, or rather I only just found it out now, we got quite a lot of blue skins accepted this week, didn't we? And what do we have here on display? The Metal Frags box for Sinotype. A very nice light blue choice. It says Frags right there, Frags, and then on the opposite side it says Metal, METAL. Lovely. So yeah, overall, no, I'm not complaining. As I said, the more the merrier. But yeah, you know exactly what you're expecting. You're going to get a nice, perfectly fine, somewhat reflective design, and then in total darkness, yep, boom, ta-da. What would you prioritize to be made next? If every next submission possibly might be the last, what do you crave? What do you demand to see being made next? It may still very well go up to about 18 skins in total. We really are getting to the last few. So, okay. Feel free to comment below if you happen to like it. And now, let's go ahead and talk about the next skin. And all I have to do is just turn over to here and you'll easily be able to spot it. I told you there's a lot of blue. Do you notice the blue over to here? Because what do we have on display right here in front of us? Well, I can't tell you because it doesn't say bed. What we have right here is the neon bed blue. But how come with all the other skins from the neon collection, all of them had a name on it? I can't tell that's a bed. I might walk up to it at night time and think, oh, it's a table, haha. Anyway, come on now, where's the bed part? Could it be under it? Let's go find out. So let's just have a look. No, damn it, unbelievable. Take it away. You know what? I might ask for a refund. Duck, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? Anyway, based on what we're looking at right here, that is a very noticeable bed at night time. If you didn't catch it, well, look at that. I can't help but assume a lot of people are going to want to buy that. But listen here, not every single skin has to be an investment, right? So if you're looking at it and thinking, oh, I would love that, but I'm worried about the price. Hey, if you want it, go grab it. Just go grab it. Appreciate it. Love it. Maybe we could see a sequel bed, like maybe a red one, and it could be for your friends. But if you like labelled it, then would it be able to tell who's who? Anyway, I don't think I can allow myself to sleep in that. Like, if it doesn't have bed in it, what's the point? I'm going to go sleep on that one instead. But at the very least, it's like a nice, clean mattress. If you saw my short video where I showcased the various skins that were submitted recently, this wasn't one of them. This was like a week ago. But that work crate one wasn't very clean, was it? So, okay, cool. Another $2.49 bed skin. But if you're looking at this as an investment, you should be a little bit careful. There will be more bed skins. Last week, 2 bed skins. This week, 2 bed skins. Next week, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another 2 Halloween rustors. I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least 3 bed skins out of those rustors. Again, there's definitely enough to pick from for Halloween submissions. Is it going to continue into November? Are we going to still see a lot of bed skins being accepted in the further future? The big difference with the backpack skins from last year was that Face Punch wouldn't stop accepting them. It went on for about 4 to 5 months of consecutive large backpack skins being accepted. And that is definitely partly due to what caused it to suffer, all the skins. And of course, the initial skins. No Mercy, and of course the Hardsuit Backpack. They came out. A lot of people were very interested. The first ever backpack skins sold a lot. And then afterwards, because more and more options appeared, they suffered. And we've already seen that with the previous bed skins, the very first ones, the Cargo Heli and the Tropical. With these 2 appearing today, both of them have dropped off and gone below their rustor price immediately. And I think I've just lost... Whoa! Okay, I got a little bit stuck there. Sorry about that. I was too mesmerised by the ever so nice clean sheets. Do you reckon I should go sleep in there? Alright, go on then. Sorry for that stutter there. I mean, I must have been moving around too much. Are you happy now, Duck? I'm sleeping in your bed, and it's eaten my $200 welly boots hat. That wasn't fair. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's hop out of here and discuss what may very well happen in the near future. Now, in regards to the neon bed, please be aware it's abnormal. Same as the Sinotype metal frags. We don't have to rush into making a nice investment. However, if you just wanted to buy them because you like them, go do that. That's a treat for yourself. Support the skin creator. Make it known that you like the skin and potentially you'd like to see some more interesting designs, perhaps on other deplorables. Could we potentially see neon chair? Yeah, maybe. What about potentially neon, I don't know, windmill? What are you on about? Oh, I'll talk about that a little bit later. So anyway, $2.49, but you are selling quite a lot. If you do somewhat match up with the Sinotype metal frags to a point, oh, okay, you're probably getting close to about 40,000 subscribers. If at least you reach 30,000, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does have potential problems. But based on recent submissions for other bed skins, last week's batch, I made a special short video showcasing them. only one of them is comparable to that in terms of noticeability at night time with its glow. That was the Bed Wars bed. What we're going to see over the course of the upcoming weekend, you can speak. Basically, the point I'm trying to get across is if we do see something very bright and very noticeable, and if we do see quite a lot of them, yeah, that might be in potential trouble. At the moment, it is the most noticeable and most easy to see bed at night time. I do believe people will be liking that. I'm not surprised at people buying it for that very reason. But got to keep an eye on a workshop. You never know what's going to be submitted. So, okay, fear not. I'll keep you informed. And at the very least, if you're being smart about it, wait until Wednesday. We'll do the abnormal barders. We'll be aware if other interesting beds have been submitted. But don't forget, Halloween. We have 10 Halloween skins here as well. Won't be surprised in the slightest if we see at least 3 Halloween bed skins being accepted. Maybe even 4. 2 Halloween bed skins for each rustor. We have Sacrificial bed that glows. We have the glow-in-the-dark horror bed, Pumpkin bed, Tombstone bed, Mimic bed which also glows, Vampire bed, Terrible bed, Demonic bed. We have the Bone Collector bed. There's a lot of glow-in-the-dark beds here. And do not be surprised if you see them being accepted in the Halloween rustors. So for you, Neon bed, for now, by all means, if you want one for yourself, that's a treat for yourself. That's not an investment. Consider it. But if you're going to actually approach this with an investment, by default, I would still roll with the idea of only offering up to about half the price. As time goes on, will you be appreciated? We'll have to wait and see. We'll talk more about that Wednesday when we do the abnormal barders. Angelic Halo. I am incredibly surprised that was accepted. In fact, if I could just quickly hop over to my Twitter. I was offering a few comments like, how on earth did that get accepted? So if we actually look at the pictures, and don't worry, I'll show you up close in a second as well. Genuinely one of the most surprising things to be accepted this year. So if we got the halo now, where's the wings? Well, that's actually been done before. It was a Halloween submission earlier this year. So when you get up nice and close, very bright. But when you get up nice and close when it's not turned on, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on there? We'll see that in a second. And perhaps we'll also show off my wings. So let's hop in game and get a good look at it. Okay, so I've got control, and immediately you will notice the light fixture does appear to be floating. We've got quite a lot of comparisons and showcases for this, so just wait and see, because there's been opinions said that, oh, if you don't look at this in debug camera, you won't notice the problem. Well, you'll see that for yourself in a second. Anyway, quick switch, boom. Very noticeable, very bright. It's a silly skin. I get the feeling a lot of people are buying it simply because they just want to look goofy. No. It's not going to be helpful for you at night time because, of course, yeah, super bright, super noticeable. Yeah, that's going to probably be a bit of a problem. But to truly understand the potential issues with this, we have to make it total darkness. And so, boom. Lights up my face. Yeah. But then again, who in their right mind is going to be running around with this at night time? Someone doing something stupid? Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, that'll make a lot of sense. But it's not going to be something you're going to actively want to wear if you don't want to be seen. So, cool, we got the point. Looks goofy, looks silly. $2. Well, even then, I think it still will retain its value because I don't think we're going to see anything like this being accepted ever again. Now, if I could also take control, we also want to go do some comparisons. So, as you can see, I've got my knife out because I've actually been up to some funny sort of business. So, let's just quickly explain ourselves. When I'm looking at this mannequin, it by default glows. It's not switched on. It doesn't have any fuel. When you put it on a mannequin such as this, yes, it automatically glows. Another thing we have to point out, if your character has a lot of hair, it makes you bald. And not like the fun type of bald. It makes you quite literally all flattened. You might need to go to Turkey. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah, that's a very, very goofy skin that was accepted. But wait, there's more. So one thing we found out, when you kill them, when they have this on their head, even if it doesn't have any fuel inside it, look what happens. It automatically glows, but there's no fuel in it. Now, we've already done this twice. If you cut off their head and stick it on the walls, no, it doesn't stay glowing. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this. I'm not sure if they might, like, quote unquote fix it or anything, actually attach it there or something. But I was genuinely surprised to see that this was accepted. Never would I have assumed something like this would so ridiculous would be allowed, but it happened. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Are you going to go buy one for yourself? Oh, hang on a minute, it's not even lit up there. Huh. It's not actually... Huh. It only gets weirder. Oh, yeah. So now that we can... Now we've got the halo. Don't you think we need some wings? Now, just to clarify, this is it switched on, and this, by default, it shows it as if it's like on. And remember, the glow only works when it's turned on when it's on your head. But, so it's a bit odd, yes. Now, in regards to like the mesh, by default, on a standard mining hat, this is like a separate mesh, the lighting fixture. So when certain parts of it are made transparent, yeah, it's going to end up looking like that. So, again, genuinely surprised to see that was accepted. Well, what did I say about wings? Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Anyway, this was a Valentine's submission early this year. It's actually a poncho. Do you want to see something like that being accepted now? So you can actually be an angel for Halloween this year? Feel free to comment below, and yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. So as of now, this Angelic Halo miner hat, selling quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's going to match up to the Anglerfish miner's hat sales, because of course that did 32,000 subscribers almost. That sold for 99 cents. This is selling for 2. I do expect it to sell quite a lot, but not as much as the Anglerfish. But still, at $2, with the sheer silliness and the goofiness and the, well, jankiness of it, do you reckon this will be something people will be appreciating as time goes on in the further future? What do you reckon? I don't know what to say. Again, if you just want to buy one for yourself, that's fine. It doesn't have to be an investment. But if we do see like an Angelic sort of like collection, all right, well, fair enough. Do you actually want to see something like wings? Feel free to comment below. And so, let's now move on and talk about the No Mercy bed. Now, practically everything I said in regards to the neon bed blue, the blue bed, it will apply to this. So, yeah, you can revert, go back about 5 minutes or so, take a look at what I said in regards to the neon bed. There will be more bed skins. There will be Halloween bed skins, as you can see right over to here. Throughout this month, I think we're still looking at maybe an extra 4 to 6 skins, bed skins to be accepted. So, it's going to be a little bit of concern. Yeah. But could it still work out reasonably well? You've got to remember, with the large backpacks, one of the first ones to be accepted was No Mercy. You might sit there and say, oh, surely No Mercy is in demand and all that, but how's that backpack currently holding up? Whilst these clothing armor skins have been accepted quite some time ago, like several years ago, and they've been appreciated as time has gone on, the collection has grown large, but not every single skin is doing amazing at the moment. So recently, so far this year, we've seen the sheet metal double door, the rocket launcher, the M39. Those are weapons and deplorables, though. And right now, it is early October. Most skins have dropped off to a new low point. Keep an eye on the likes of that for January time, just saying. But backpack, even you, for quite some time, you're doing pretty good. Back in the summer of 2025, that was actually evens. But of course, as more and more backpacks have been accepted, and of course the auto-fall seasonal dip, it's now suffering. This very well will most likely reach a new low point at some point around February, March and April time. The spring or Easter dip, be prepared to see it probably dropping off. With it not glowing in the dark, it's probably a fair bit concerning. But in terms of its design, I mean, it looks real nice. No Mercy skins do look pretty good. There's a reason why so many of the skins have been accepted, and there's a reason why they sell quite a lot. So yeah, maybe it's not going to sell as much as the neon bed, but it's still going to be appreciated for its nice, cool look of design. I'm pretty sure out there's a lot of No Mercy enjoyers, so feel free to stand up, brag about your jacket, which costs about $50, brag about all the other skins you happen to own with it. Let's go hop in game, get a good look at it, and you can tell me if you like it or not. Now, one thing I neglected to point out That's $3. The other bed over there is 50 cents cheaper. Ooh. So again, price very likely will be having a bit of an effect in regards to how much this will sell. But it's still very likely will be selling quite a lot. Again, it's only got like 1,000 sales less compared to the neon bed. And this is more expensive. So props to the design. Bad Trip and Hulk have made a wonderful looking bed. But I can't help but assume a lot of people are just going to chase after the glow-in-the-dark version. Just because of the usefulness of it. So feel free to comment below. Between these two beds, do you prefer a nicely well-made design? And with all due respect, this is also very nicely well-made as well. I guess what I'm saying is a more discreet bed that doesn't glow in the dark compared to a very nice, noticeable glow-in-the-dark bed. There is gameplay helpfulness, and then there is just appreciating a very nice design. But then again, like, well, it's white. Is it somewhat noticeable thanks to nightlight? Well, okay, we can go find out. So first of all, with the light on, it does seem to be somewhat reflective around the bed rim, but more specifically, in total darkness. It's not that noticeable, no, not really. Yeah, again, like, for those with better eyesight, can you see that reasonably well? So, okay, fair enough. We'll see as time goes on, but still, by default, there will be more bed skins accepted as time goes on. There will be Twitch drop bed skins being added. It feels like an inevitability that this will go below its rust or price, especially at $3. So, yeah. And even just this month, with all the other bed skins expected to appear, yeah. So, okay, fair enough. By all means, if you want to buy one for yourself, go ahead. Support the skin creator. But in terms of, am I going to go ahead and make a large investment? I still worry for it. At the very least, let's now go ahead and showcase the next skin. For about half a year, we haven't seen a Thundergold skin being submitted. But literally, in the past 2 weeks, Backpack submitted, and of course, the mining hat as well. And instantly, we get the Backpack accepted. So I have a bit of a hunch. Face Punch happens to like the design. I reckon we potentially might be seeing quite a lot more of this in the future. Fingers crossed. I know for a fact a lot of people are still itching and yearning and praying for some more hoodie and pants attempts. As you can see right here, for $3, yeah, again, $3, we have a very nice looking white backpack. Now, by coincidence, we recently just saw the Hedge backpack being given away for absolutely free. Perhaps that might be the reason why we've seen this being accepted now. Any other week, we might have seen some problems, whatever. Anyway, you can clearly see we have a very nice white design with a lovely bit of gold trim that's ever so nice and shiny. Get a good look at that. And so, I wonder, could we strike it lucky? 2 weeks in a row? We do have a regular rust store next week. That is to be anticipated. What do you reckon? Alright then, not looking too bad. But how about we put on some more clothes? Just give it a nice little pan around. Nice little turn. Look at all of that. Looking pretty sweet. And now, let's go put on all the other clothes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. Say hello to Thundergold. So we're still hoping and, praying for the likes of some hoodie and pants. Also, light switch, go. Boom, boom. But yeah, look at that. What do you reckon? Do you like what you see? We don't really have, tons of options in regards to white clothing and armour. I feel like Thundergold's been building itself up ever so nicely. A lot of people preferring to use the likes of these skins in comparison to whiteout. The gold sheen and the shine is ever so nice. Now, quick look at nighttime as well. Look at that. So yeah, it's a fair bit reflective. And the backpack, it does reflect quite a fair bit as well. But the golden streaks of lightning, oh yes, looking ever so nice. Very appealing to the eyes. So feel free to comment below. Do you like the design? And I'll also ask you, will you hope and pray for another attempt at the hoodie and pants? Now, I haven't actually looked at the skins in regards to the Steam market. We can go take a quick look at them. Has the arrival of the backpack happened to have had a bit of an impact? Well, let's go and see if we've noticed any spike in demand, spike in price. Now, real quickly, before we do that, I know some people are going to ask, hey, does it glow in the dark or anything? No. No glow, no glow. Nothing to be concerned about, nothing to be worried about. Cool. So right now, Thundergold Backpack comfortably sitting here with only 3,000 subscribers. 5th best-selling skin, basically smack dab in the middle. The high price very likely has been an impact in regards to how many sales this has got so far. How far will it reach after the 7-day tenure of this Rustor? Not sure. But if we also look at all the fairly recent backpack skins, so we just had the Twitch Rivals backpack and all that, but yeah, looking at the actual sales, 12,000 subscribers, 23,000 subscribers, 11,000 subscribers, almost 16, 14 and a half, yeah. And then look at the prices. Ooh. But like I said, you got one white backpack there, and all of the rest. If you were to consider comparing to No Mercy backpack, sure, that has a ridiculous amount. This right here, I can't help but assume you're just going to kind of comfortably exist. And we do see more Thundergold being accepted in the future. Oh, even better for that. Unless we see like a whiteout backpack actually being accepted, and yeah, it's been submitted but never accepted. Well, don't know what else to say. I guess a lot of people will be appreciating that, especially with the full Thundergold. And it, there might be some weird mixed combinations, camouflage, whiteout, of course. Yeah, I think this will just be appreciated. Yeah, so it's definitely something to consider in regards to next Wednesday when we do the abnormal barders. We're going to look at the sales and make considerations. Could that comfortably rise up in price as we get closer and closer to post-Christmas, January 2026? We'll have to keep an eye out. But will we see another fairly interesting, fairly good-looking white backpack ever again? We'll wait and see. So, okay. In a very interesting spot, we've got to keep an eye on that. And keep an eye out to see what other Thundergold skins are potentially going to be submitted over the course of this weekend. Small diving box. So I've kind of already had a bit of a yapping session about this. If we could just quickly hop over to here, and there you go. So in regards to the focus of what I talked about here, I question, could we actually see a small box collection actually get more than 5 or 6 skins? Thank you very much for the raid there, Mr. Perilous Outlaw. If we do, oh yeah, that's going to be wonderful. That's going to be beautiful. But what next? McGwamp, the skin creator, he's done a pretty good job picking out some niche options. Diesel box, cards box, now diving box. A diving box just in time for the naval update next month. What do you need next? I know in the past there was an attempt for a neon cards box and also a neon seeds box. Do you want a basket for seeds or something like that? We had this question earlier. Perilous Outlaw viewers, I ask you, what small box would you like to see being made next? Now earlier, someone suggested a tea box, and to be honest with you, that wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Make it like a nice old sort of wooden tea box and whatnot. Oh, that'd be sweet. Just put some tea bags in the front. Well, you don't really have that in Rust, but the point still remains. What niche ideas could you think of, or rather, what small box ideas do you desperately need? It's kind of like Sinotype. We're questioning, oh, well, will we see like wood or car part? Well, car parts small box. Actually, that's a great shout. Car parts. What about boat parts? Or would you just use the diving box with the boat stuff? Anyway. If the yellow box wasn't accepted, there's room for a yellow box. But what will it be? We shall see. So comment below your ideas. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I just want to quickly point out, last week's skins, we did see the cards box ending up being the second lowest selling skin. The only cards box we've ever seen in Rust, and it sold not that much. Still sold quite a fair bit, over 22,000 subscribers. But all the previous skins sold more, didn't they? Diesel box did almost 25,000 subscribers. Small bed, there you go, you can do that. Small meds, 24,000 subscribers. But small cards only just about reached 22,700 subscribers almost. A place for frog boots. Maybe, we'll see. So, okay. Perhaps diving box might not sell too ridiculously, or will it? Again, it's a very unique idea, but cards box was technically unique. Alright, well, maybe it might pick up in terms of interest as we actually reach November 4 swipe. The brand new massive content update on the horizon, and the reinvigorated importance for diving, because apparently you're going to need to search for blueprint segments and whatnot in the ocean when you dive. And of course, how interesting is the deep sea going to be? If you don't know what I'm talking about, on the commits in regards to the naval update and whatnot, apparently there's going to be a separate sort of section in the map that's going to take you into like a different area called the deep sea. Again, maybe in the next week or so, naval update will be on staging. We're going to find out a whole lot very soon. So diving box actually might pick up some interest as as we actually go through November in a few weeks' time. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Twitter, because don't be surprised if we find out about the staging thing soon. So anyway, cool. Let's now hop in game, give it a good look, and you can tell me whether you like it or not. Back to the blue stuff. So, get a good look at that. Now, Aquapack is like a little logo that's seen on the diving equipment, so if you give that a good look, you'll see it for yourself. Goggles, harpoon, nice and blue, stands out in comparison to the rest of the skins in this set. Not too bad. So, are you satisfied? Are you pleased with what you see? What still remains that you crave to see being made next? Skin Creator is still making small boxes this weekend. We are expecting another one. Will we see it being accepted next week? We'll see. And if we do see that being accepted, we're definitely potentially on course to maybe see a full-fledged small box collection, which has never been done before. So I'm talking 15 to 18 skins. Would we even have enough room? Out of all the Sinotype skins, because it's recent, you'd probably have a good idea. If I was to ask you, what would work perfectly fine as a small box as well, like of course, the large boxes, what would you like to see? Would it be right to have a wood box for that? Would it be right to potentially have an ore box with a small box? What do you normally stick in your small boxes? Where'd it go? I can't see it. Well, it doesn't glow. There you go. So, yeah, it doesn't glow anything. It's a perfectly fine looking design that stands out nicely in comparison to the rest of the skins. And you can also put that in your walls with shelves. Another very interesting and useful thing to have. So definitely a lot to consider. I wouldn't say no to car parts. Do you reckon you can make that look like a little car? We'll see how things progress. But if we then go through November 4 swipe and find out boat parts are actually something we need to start collecting, maybe a nice boat parts small box might be pretty interesting. Again, we need to find out what's actually going to be in the naval update. So we might just have to sit around and wait for the staging update. So, okay, cool. Just have to wait and see. Next up, we have the return of a very notable weapon collection that's been progressing very nicely in 2025, Black Ops Collection. Now, immediately I have to warn you, people don't seem to appreciate LR300s. You're going to be like, well, it's Black Ops, it's a nice looking design. Yeah, it is. But people do not, they don't care for LR300s, I'm sorry to say. So let me just hold it in my hands, aim down, a very nice, decent amount of visibility, looking pretty good. Hopefully comment below your thoughts on what you see. So, alright, that's looking pretty sweet. Give a nice little inspection. Quick look at night time as well. Inspect again. What about the red aim sight? Can you still see it? Oh, actually, that's actually quite noticeable. Oh, wow. Okay. Ah. Well, feel free to comment below. What are your thoughts in regards to what you see here? Alright, well, I'm quite impressed. Right then. How about a nice little reload as well? So, whoop. There you go. I don't think it's going to retain its value. What makes you say that? Well, I mean, like, we've had some very interesting LR300 options this year. We have the Heatseeker LR300 as well. But I'm sorry to say, I think we're going to go ahead right now, look at the price of the Heatseeker LR300, and you're going to be incredibly surprised to find out that it's actually quite cheap. Cheaper than this right here. Now, before we do anything, let's just see how shiny it is, and, well, to be honest with you, it's looking very, very shiny. So, okay, not too bad. Strike a pose. But yeah, I'm not joking. People just don't seem to appreciate LR300s. Until we see that change, the skins will just continue to suffer. Whilst a select few do still work out quite nicely to this day, all we've got to do is just take a look at all the recent skins that have been submitted recently, well, accepted recently is what I should say. And yeah, you can tell me whether you feel confident or not to actually jump in and make an investment in the likes of this. So, Black Ops LR300. Your collection, it's weapons only, and by default, we've said this many times in the past. Most weapon-only collections tend to crash and burn. Now, some of the skins, not exactly doing super great, but some of them, they're not doing too bad. But LR300s in general. Typically, a revolver would do quite nice, especially right now, especially when people can't even get a workbench too. Jackhammers, with the scarcity of them, I'm not surprised to see that's not doing too terrible. I'm still kind of surprised about the Black Ops bow though, but anyway. With what we see, with what we just saw there, it's fine, a very nice, very sleek design, but it's the weapon itself. If the weapon itself is not being appreciated, where is the justification to own skins? You are selling for $3, and we just talked about that with some previous skins, $3 each, not selling that much. Okay, true. If it didn't sell that much, maybe it might work out quite nicely, you know, all the better for it to rise in price in the future, but they're not being appreciated. Some of the skins here are sold like next to nothing. Like, take for example the Apocalypse Nomad LR300. It only did 8,400 subscribers. Transparent aim sight, half in price and more. Heatseeker LR300. With the Heatseeker Summer, the massive hype we saw with this collection, this did a respectable 30,000 subscribers, still dropped off. Transparent aim sight, cool design, part of a well-established and in-demand collection, still lost a significant chunk of its value. Now, it's not like doomed. It's still like $2.30, sold for $3, but even this dropped. Now, if you take a look at all the recent skins from like the past few years, oh my, only one of them's currently in the positive. All the other ones, they're down bad. And as much as you might sit there and say, oh, but yeah, it's early October, auto fall seasonal dip, this wasn't that much different like a couple months ago during the summer. People don't appreciate the LR300. You would have to hope for a day that they insanely buff it for something like this to actually retain its value. So I'm very sorry to say, but I don't feel confident with it. It's not the skin, it's the fact that it's an LR300 skin. It's the LR300, so yeah, sorry to say. But keep an eye out. I wouldn't be surprised if they start dabbling into deplorables and clothing and armor soon. I think a lot of people would greatly appreciate to see the Black Ops collection doing something a little bit different. But for now, feel free to comment below. What would you like to see being made next? Chances are it will be another weapon skin, so yeah. Or maybe, with the brand new Skinnables on the horizon, you might see the likes of a chainsaw. You might see the likes of maybe an SKS. Oh, what about a handmade LMG? Lodno, Kolotinsky, keep an eye out. Handmade LMG. Right. With the final 3 skins, I'll probably group them all up together. By default, I don't feel very confident with Sheepman Adores. By default this year, with quite a decent amount of rocket launchers being accepted, I don't feel very confident with this rocket launcher. And by default, with SAR skins, just in general, just look at all the skins that came out recently, I don't feel very confident with them. So, let's just go a little bit more in detail. All-Seeing Eye Sheepman Adore. You are a collection continuation, but what I'm seeing here is definitely a parallel to what I saw with the Nuke Vibe collection. Garage Door first, sells quite a decent amount, very cool design that a lot of people seem to appreciate initially, but with so many like sales, it kind of starts to crash. Then we get the collection continuation. Okay, yeah, it might improve a little bit. So let's just quickly go to here, see what it's currently doing at the moment. You sold for $2.49, correct? What are you currently sitting at now? $2.39. Were you $3 or were you $2.49? Yeah, it was $2.49. So you've kind of recovered a bit. But after the Sheepman Adore, what happens next? Probably not that much, and that is where we're going to be concerned. At the very least, I should point out there is a rug skin. Personally, I want to see that All-Seeing Eye miner hat with the the light fixture with the eye. That would be cool. That's up to the skin creator. I definitely passed on that idea. Can't remember who said it, but someone said it on YouTube, so I passed it on. Yeah, there could be another skin. Is it actually going to happen? And also, Halloween is in the way. So that might be a bit of a problem, won't it? Yep. So let's just quickly close all these. So based on what we're looking at with the Sheepman Adore, at $2.49, I just can't help but assume you're going to crash and burn. So quick refresh just to be up to date. Yeah, you haven't sold that much more. And then look at all the Sheepman Adores that came out this year. How many of them are actually in the positive? 0. Down 50, down 73, down 60, down 23, down 25, down 20, down 58, down 75, down 65, down 51. Point made. They're down bad. We have far too many Sheepman Adore skins in the game. And at $2.49, oh yeah, you're going to go down. I've seen many instances in the past where we've seen like a $2.49 sheep in the door. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty nice. It may even glow in the dark quite nicely as well. And yet, they still go down in price. So, yeah, bit of a problem. So by all means, if you bought one for yourself, hey, that's fine. Buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated, keep want to put out nice creative designs in the future. However, I still worry for it, and I think you could very likely pick that up for about half the price. Okay? So in regards to Nuke Vibe, if you could just look at how that's currently holding up. Like, we've got 2 weapon skins being accepted recently. Down 56, down 65. There was plenty more attempts for more deployable skins, but there was no anticipation. They just crashed. They've been like that for a very long time now. So do not be surprised if potentially the same thing happens again. At the very least, sheep in the door is abnormal. So, okay, maybe that'll be alright. Now, in regards to Deep Sea Rocket Launcher, I mean, Deep Sea Collection's kind of building up quite nicely, but then look at that. Oh, down 61, down 63, down 55, down 33. Oh. And again, this year, we have seen quite a decent amount of rocket launchers. Last year, we didn't really see that much. Year before that, we didn't see that much in terms of marketable options. This year, we've had the Easter one, we've had the Black Ops rocket launcher, and we've also had the No Mercy rocket launcher. Down a third, down a third, down half. Yeah, I'm not feeling very confident, especially with what we just saw the actual collection itself a minute ago. The chances are I might only go about halfway. If that's selling for the standard $2 price, that may very well be a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. And the SAR, I mean, don't even get me started with SAR skins. Take a look at all of that came out so far this year. Heatseeker's doing alright, full on transparency. Nuke Vibe's doing okay at the moment, but it only just became marketable. So, you know, give it another week or so and... yeah, I know. So, most of them down pretty bad, half their price and more. And over to here, half their price and more. A couple of them are doing pretty okay. Thundergold! So yeah, the vast majority of SARs are going to go down in price, and that very likely will be following with them as well. So okay, lots has been said. Let's now go and game and give them a good look. Get a good look at that. The all-seeing eye. It knows what you did because it saw it all. So okay, yeah, that's a perfectly fine looking design, looking pretty sweet. The Illuminati theme, oh yes. So listen, if you like the door and you want it, just go buy it, treat yourself. But if you're looking at that as an investment, wait until next week. Abnormal, utilise the time. So, real quick look at night time. With the lights right next to it, it seems to get a bit of a sheen, a bit of a shine, looking pretty sweet. Not too bad, not too bad. But what we care most about is how's it look in total darkness. There you go. Get a good look at that. I can see it, and it can see me. So, for an interesting sheep matador design, I won't fault it. They've done a very good job with that. But what's your opinion? And what would you like to see being made next? If you could think of anything that could match up quite nicely with the all-seeing eye, I mean, to be honest with you, it's got to be that miner hat idea. So, we'll see what the skin creators want to do next. Keep an eye on their workshop and see what they produce next. But do not be surprised. Based on what we've seen with recent sheep matador skins, I don't expect it to be a pretty time. Expect it to be a pretty awkward time, so yeah. You very likely could just pick that up for a cheaper price in the future. Next up is the rocket launcher. And I kind of got to point it out, but like 2 interesting aquatic themed skins being accepted just before the November Force Wipe. And again, this was accepted before November Force Wipe. We are about to see the likes of the Halloween restores. So to be honest with you, I'm not really upset with what I see here. A perfectly fine addition, well, feel free to comment below. Do you like the shells and the barnacles all on the side with its like submarine sort of aesthetic? Do you like it? Feel free to comment below. And here I have it in my hands. Let's give a nice little inspection. Lots of rope all tied around nice and tight. Nice little anchor logo there and whatnot. So, alright. Not too bad. How's this look at night time? Does it happen to glow or anything? Based on what I see here, no glow, no night light, no helpfulness. So it's just a fun, sort of nice aquatic theme design. Hey, if you like that, and if you feel the need to get that just before the naval update, I wouldn't blame you. But isn't there at least another option? I swear there was like another sort of like Seafarer design. I'll look that up in a second, don't you worry. But yeah, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it goes down in price like the previous rocket launchers. But if you want to go ahead and show support to the skin creators, by all means, show support. And let's see if we could see more of this proposed collection. Yep, get a good look at that. And with what Mr. Dude just said there, I wonder how effective a rocket launcher is going to be on a boat when you're trying to sink other boats. Do you reckon that's going to be an interesting strategy? But then there's another thing. They're introducing cannons with the naval update. Are they going to be like fixed onto boats, or are you going to be able to walk all the way up to someone's base and just shoot their door down with a cannon? And if that's the case, could that negatively impact the likes of the rocket launcher and the usage of all their skins? Okay, that might be a little bit of a concern, so we'll think about that. Regardless, do you like what you see here? Are you impressed? Let's get up nice and close. Quite a shiny spectacle, this deep sea rocket launcher. And yet again, I'll point out, I do like the starfish and the barnacles and the shells. Looks pretty sweet, looks pretty cool. But what do you think? And what would you like to see being made next? If we do eventually see hazmats becoming skinnable, it is a possibility, it was asked. I know we have had the Abyss hazmat, but I think the skin creator Robstar will do a very good job with a deep sea hazmat. What do you reckon? Keep an eye out, and we'll see what happens in the future. So Mr. Dude had a pretty interesting thought. What if rocket launchers are required to make cannons? Well, I mean, we'll see. But we should focus the faults are right here. So yes. Fault lines, cracks in the ground, an earthquake has happened. But yeah. Another collection continuation. A pretty nice and shiny looking SAR. But didn't we just recently have a SAR? Yeah. We do see quite a lot of them. And unfortunately, we don't see many of them actually retaining and did a good job becoming a nice investment. So, yeah. Got to be a little bit careful about that, don't we? But I did bring it up, and you are aware. So, yeah. Standard sight. Interesting blue design, and it is very reflective. But, well, what about on stage? Oh, but just before we, of course, look on the stage, there you go. Little look at night time. Night light isn't helping this out, and that is concerning. Standard sight, no transparency, no somewhat useful bits of nightlight or anything. Yeah, I'm kind of worried that this isn't going to really work out very nicely. But based on what we've seen with SARS as of recent, it's kind of not surprising, is it? No. Okay, well, let's hop on stage and give this a good look. Yep. Looking very shiny. Okay, well, not too surprised there. Let's just strike a pose and look pretty. It's got some, like, red tint to it. Hints of red. Do you see it? Or am I going crazy? Do I need better glasses? Am I going colourblind? But yeah, overall, a very nice, lovely looking design. And by all means, if you like it, go support the skin creators. Buy one for yourself. It's a treat. Keep those skin creators nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it does drop off. We'll see. Maybe a full collection develops into so much more. Clothing and armour, deplorables. What would you like to see being made next with this design? Go for the comment below. And now let's quickly hop back to the websites. So, in conclusion, with these three skins, I don't really trust them. Sorry to say. Sheep Matador, there will be more Sheep Matadors in the future. There will be more Twitch drops. And they will take away the attention from this. We really do need to see a whole lot of these all-seeing eye skins being accepted. And if it doesn't happen, yeah. Rocket launcher, to be honest with you, I'm kind of somewhat interested because we're getting closer and closer to naval update. And with our discussions talking about, well, are you going to use rocket launchers to shoot other boats? Are you going to need rocket launchers to make cannons? Does that mean maybe the cannon might be the counterpart and it might also cost 100 high quality metal? Oh, but maybe their mobility would be like really like bad and you can't really move them that much and they're quite literally transfixed onto boats. They might still cost cheaper. You could do a nice little float by, shoot everyone's bases on the shore. And fault SAR, again, I just don't trust. After seeing how all these other SARs have basically performed and behaved the exact same way, the vast majority have gone down pretty bad. I kind of wouldn't be surprised this will do the same. So blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Cool. So at the end of the day, we did get some very interesting, very strange looking designs, but overall, I'm not too upset. Yeah, we didn't really get that much clothing and armor, technically speaking, the mining hat and the backpack. I understand, I get it, but sometimes when you want something really, really badly, it doesn't always happen. Nothing's a guarantee, right? So, by all means, please consider looking through the batch of Halloween skins and comment below what would you like to see potentially being accepted. And how many skins in total do you reckon will be accepted? Over 300, but there's only 2 rust doors. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Or we could be pleasantly surprised next week and find out there's 3 weeks of rust doors. I mean, that's not what's been announced. But again, the amount we've seen. Ooh. So, okay, cool. What else is there that needs to be talked about? Commits. So, I hope that you've been keeping track of everything that's been talked about somewhat recently. If I were to navigate over to here, I don't know why they've mentioned it, but they've got talks about an unskinned windmill. Is this kind of implying there might be a skinned windmill? I don't know what to expect. I think the farmers would greatly appreciate that. Role players would probably... Yeah, no, I think they'd actually really appreciate that. Is that going to be another DLC in the future? Ooh, we'll have to wait and see. So, okay, fair enough. Now, something's cooking here, but we don't fully know what it's for. There's an RPG skin. There's an RPG that's apparently going to be the exact same thing as a rocket launcher. Huh. Well, that's not looking very good for the deep sea rocket launcher now, is it? Well, we'll get proper confirmation, but it does appear to be a rocket launcher, as it said right there. So, if you're thinking Hedge, you're being a little bit too harsh with the deep sea rocket launcher. Well, something new is appearing, and it very likely will be another DLC pack. Speaking of DLC packs, quite some time back, we did see mentions in regards to the Warhammer collaboration. Well, I can confirm. Ta-da! What do we have right here? The Warhammer pack. So there's actually a nice little video right here for you to watch. But we can confirm, in this pack, brand new Corpse of Krieg hazmat suit, Death Corpse of Krieg backpack, Death Corpse of Krieg chainsword, which is actually the first ever chainsaw skin. Yep. We also have apparently a Spaz shotgun skin, and also 2 barrels. So we're getting a special, actual proper DLC. Not like something you'll see in the general portion of the Rust store, an actual DLC. So who knows if they add anything else to this, but alright. Cool, there you go. There's your answer. Releasing on the 23rd of October when we have the release of the Halloween update. Cool, that's only 2 weeks' time. Ooh, so, okay then. At least you are aware now. And yeah, what they're talking about in regards to the brand new hazmat is right there in front of you. So, what are your thoughts? Do you like it? Are you happy to spend maybe another $15 or so? Yay. Well, it is what it is. You don't have to get it. But then again, that very cool looking shotgun skin. Ooh. So, they got you, haven't they? They got you. So keep an eye on the commits. You have no idea what else you might potentially see. And this is why I'm now going to navigate over to here and quickly show you what tweet do I want to show. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So it's been queried what you would like to see become skinnable next. And I will make a video and upload it this Saturday, showcasing all the things that they're offering to you. I did mention hazmat as one of them. But what have you constantly been asking for throughout all of this year? Loads of people just constantly keep asking for the likes of small backpacks. So many people are like, well, why do we get so many large backpacks? Where's the small backpack skins? They weren't skinnable until potentially now. There's loads of interesting things being mentioned, but I'll save that for Saturday, okay? However, I think we've already got the answer in regards to what potentially will be becoming skinnable next. Oh, wrong spot. There we go. Very randomly, they decided to update the tactical gloves texture. But why did they do that? I wonder. I can confirm, in the previous survey we had, you used to see it in TGG's top picks. Top picks list. There was a survey saying, what would you like to see become skinnable? Tactical gloves were definitely in the top 10. So you might be seeing that happening soon. Personally, I probably would have preferred the hazmat and the wolf headdress and, well, the small backpack, but that's fine. I know a lot of people do want that, and I was getting quite a lot of responses with that as well. So, okay, cool, no complaints. So, yeah, a pretty interesting, optimistic future. And when I've got, like, a clear picture in regards to whether the skins have stopped going down in price so much, I'll make a video talking about how, okay, Looks like the autumn fall seasonal dip is like finished now. You probably do want to make a move and start making some investments. If you do have a lot of funds, start looking around, start making some considerations, because it's not always going to be, well, cheap as that. So yeah, that also means like your whiteout options and whatnot. And to be honest with you, I don't think these have stopped stagnating or going down in price. So let's just go find out. $21.60 almost. And oh yeah, no, that stopped. So that did drop off, as you can see. But look at what you see right there. Do you see that? Do you see that? Starting to rise back up in price again. So if you were like wondering, Hedge, when's the best time to go ahead and buy like Forest Raiders and Whiteout and Desert Raiders? Probably now. Based on what I just saw there, and well, no, let's go take a look at the Desert Raiders as well. Forest Raiders as well. It very likely is now. The most valuable camouflage skins. Let's get a quick look at you. Yeah, Desert Raiders face mask is $67 almost. And it did drop off. This looks like it's still going down a fair bit. Or are you starting to maybe just about climb up? Stagnation. So you properly started to drop off around September time. It kind of looks like September was where it was at its worst. So yeah, I think quite a lot of skins have already reached their low point, and now they're starting to recover. So again, that face mask looked like it was starting to recover. It was just stagnating. Now Forest Raiders, I do know this did drop off a fair bit. This actually peaked around April time in anticipation for the jungle update. After that, so this face mask at one point you're selling for about $30+. However, right now you're $22. So as you will see, it was much higher in April and it drops off. Then it kind of perks back up again around August time and it drops off. This still looks like it's going down, or is it? Maybe it's already reached its lowest point. Maybe you might want to consider buying one now. So yeah, perhaps most of the skins have already gone down and reached their lowest point September time. Right now, it's still looking like it's still fairly cheap. Not the cheapest, but still cheaper than where it was back in the summertime. And let me tell you, January 2026 time, it is expected all of these will be rising up much, much better. Okay, cool. So that's essentially everything that you need to be prepared for. But I will still make a nice video talk about how low certain things went and what to expect next with January time. So cool. So I think we've pretty much talked about everything that needs to be said. Let's now wrap up the video. We've reached the end. So best of luck to each and every single one of you with your investments. Honestly, if you made a lot of profit during the summer, do consider looking around. It doesn't have to just be camouflage skins. It could just be very nice looking sets. It could be nice, useful looking weapons. Comics collection, all nice and white, pretty useful with whiteout. What about the Heatseeker collection? We made a bit of a fuss about that. But you did see some of those Heatseeker skins rise up in price when prices were improving around the end of July and of course August time. It will happen again. All prices are expected to return, rise up ever so nicely as we go through the post-Christmas period. So from here and now, we are getting closer and closer to Halloween, but you're not going to really see anything rise up in price insanely until we get closer and closer to December. The Christmas skins. Christmas tend to be a whole lot more invested into compared to Halloween. Rarely do you see Halloween skins actually go up in price that much. When it comes to Christmas skins, oh yeah, a lot of people do want to get the likes of them. Halloween items though, yeah, they do tend to go up in price quite nicely. I'll definitely recommend the mummy wraps again. Oh yes, that was nice. But consider looking around, look at your inventories, look at the prices they're currently selling for. And again, look at all the skins that you wanted to invest into and start making the choice of, well, maybe it's probably a good time to jump in now. I'll give you some nice looking hints. We'll see what happens next. But of course, with that, all I can say is best of luck. I look forward to Halloween. Oh yeah, that's happening fairly soon. I'm not sure if we're still seeing regular skin submissions this weekend. I actually started to think about it. Maybe there will be a week off, or maybe two. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to all of you and your investments. But do be warned, this might look like a very creative and very silly looking miner's hat. I've seen some very cool looking Halloween themed skins as well. You just have to wait a little bit longer, and soon you're probably going to see them being accepted as well. So, once again, catch you later. See you and goodbye.